we've got a freaking problem in America with TikTok finance and all the BS advice out there about what you should be doing to build wealth. The reality of it is just wrong advice, let alone being bad advice. So I'm gonna react to some videos here and give you my thoughts, try and cut through the BS.
If your bank account's a mess, clap your hands. If you clapped, you should consider stripping. And don't worry, you don't need to have upper body or core strength to do this kind.
Okay, I don't know where she's going with this so far. I'm like, whoa. All right, we're stripping here. All right, let's see where this goes.
S, savings, 3 to 6 months. Put it into an FDIC insured high yield savings account to make the most of your money. T, total debt. Rank your debt from highest to lowest interest rate and pay it down in that order to save the most on interest.
Okay, I'm freaking loving Vivian, your rich BFF. Loving this so far. Savings problem. There's a savings crisis out there right now. People do not have money for the slightest financial inconvenience. A car issue, they lose their job. Having a savings plan can eliminate so much financial stress. So I love where she's starting there. And she's actually talking an anti-Dave Ramsey approach to doing it, attacking your highest interest rate balances first, not your highest balances first. Many people know Dave Ramsey preaches go after the smallest balances first because you get psychological wins of paying off debt and go to your bigger balances next. She's talking about a way that is mathematically better, which is paying off higher interest rate stuff. Now she's going quick. There's actually a lot of knowledge in this content right now. And then she gets to your retirement accounts. Of course, you guys know I love retirement accounts, but you do that after you have a savings plan, after you focus on getting high interest debt paid off.
R, retirement. Are you taking advantage of tax advantage retirement accounts like Roth IRAs or IRAs? You should set up an account and try to max out your contributions.
Yeah,
you can
you
either
should.
self-direct and invest in things like target date funds or total market index funds such as VOO or VTI, or set up with a robo-advisor so that they can create a personalized portfolio for you. I, invest both in traditional senses like stocks and bonds, but also in yourself. Do you have any hobbies that you want to pursue, like real estate or a side hustle?
I'm drinking the Vivian Kool-Aid here, okay? I love it. She's talking about also investing, not just investing in the stock market and buying a target date fund. By the way, you can invest and buy real estate, small businesses with your retirement account. But she's just talking about the concept of a side hustle, investing in yourself, growing a small business, doing rental real estate, other ways that are wealth building tools. Freaking love that. That has been a successful strategy for wealth building for decades. It's so obvious. It's right in front of all of us, but so many people don't take advantage of it.
And P, plan for the future. What are your money goals? You can't manifest your dreams if you don't have any.
Okay, I freaking love Vivian, the rich BFF. This was stellar advice. I need to go follow her. I was expecting to hate on this when it started, and frankly, my team likes to bring me the ones to hate on, but I love this one. Great advice, presented well, in the proper order too, and she hit really the key points of everything for building wealth and having financial peace of mind.
The other day, man, they had like $150,000 in loans, and they took like 5 years and worked all this overtime to pay that off. They could have just went bankrupt, then worked really hard to build their wealth. But instead, they worked for 5 years really hard to pay debt down to zero, which means when they paid that debt down to zero, they were still broke. They could have just went.
Good point, Nate. I actually like this. Some people might be surprised, but bankruptcy should be a tool you utilize when it matters in your situation and when it works. In order to file bankruptcy, you have to be quote unquote insolvent, which means you have more debts than you have assets. For people building wealth, bankruptcy is not a tool unless you are way underwater. You have more debts, more liabilities than you actually have assets. Now, a lot of people fit that criteria right now, unfortunately. And if you are, you can consider bankruptcy. Remember though, there are a number of repercussions to filing bankruptcy. No one's gonna give you a mortgage. You're gonna have to wait 7 years for that bankruptcy to fall off your credit report. So if you got an idea of home ownership in the next 7 years, that's going out the window. Also, any other credit cards or line of credit or debt you're gonna get, it's gonna be very high interest debt. So you have to be financially secure where you're not gonna need access to credit for business or real estate investing or for home ownership.
Just went bankrupt and then worked really hard and had the 150 grand. Bankruptcy's not really scary. They're not gonna come kill you. You're gonna be bankrupt. Pretty much it's like following the Dave Ramsey method, except it's real quick. The Dave Ramsey method will just keep you bankrupt for most of your life.
I love that. It's the Dave Ramsey method, but real quick because it eliminates your debt. And what does Dave Ramsey hate more than anything? Debt. Not a bad point from Nate here on using bankruptcy as a tool to help you get started in building wealth. But I'm just saying, remember, there are some repercussions. And also, if we're bankrupting credit card companies, who really cares? If you're bankrupting friends or family that maybe lent you money on a deal or a business, and you're trying to bankrupt them, that's an ethical thing you got to decide for yourself. I'd be a little annoyed if I was on the other end of that and wouldn't do that to people in my my world.
Listen to me, if you want to get rich with $1,000 and you're in your 20s or 30s, you can start in your 20s or 30s and get rich by doing this one thing. Buy a duplex or a quadruplex or a triplex, live in one of the units, rent out the rest. The really cool thing is when you buy these, there's already going to be tenants in it, because that's what a duplex or quadruplex or triplex is. It's an investment property. It's a rental property. So chances are they're always full. The deposits get transferred between the current owner to you, and then whenever the first tenant moves out, you move into that one. It only costs you $1,000 to buy a multifamily house through a USDA rural development loan. Why would you not do that? You got a 620 or higher credit score. You got 2 years on the job. Your debt to income ratios work out. I mean, if you make $35,000, you can buy a $100,000 home. If you make 70 grand, you can buy a $200,000 home, and the cap in a lot of cities is like $107,000 worth of income. So if it's you and your spouse and y'all make less than $107,000, you got to be doing this.
Okay, I love this from Wayne. This is a great piece of advice here. This is a little house hack strategy. I don't care whether you're buying a house as a mother-in-law apartment or a basement apartment, an ADU you can do in the back, the triplex, the duplex, the quadruplex like Wayne's talking about. Getting ways where you can acquire and have ownership of an asset that can provide housing for you and rental income from others, that's a great way to jumpstart your wealth. And these USDA loans are legit. They're not available in metropolitan areas though, keep in mind. These are more rural-based areas where you can get loans for housing like this, but it could be a great way for you to acquire assets using this strategy, which does have lower income requirements, lower credit score requirements, and lower cash down requirements than you'll see in most FHA loan products. So awesome advice here from Wayne. That is a great house hack strategy to get your first 1 or 2 properties. All right, well, we went 50 for 50 today. I loved Wayne and Vivian's advice in their videos. Great advice. The reality is there's so much BS out there on it, and it annoys the hell out of me. I hate to say it, but it does. And we've got to hold these people accountable out there giving advice and telling people what to do. There's people relying on this. I can't tell you how many times my 18-year-old daughter comes and tells me something she saw on TikTok and asks me if she can do it. So this is Matt. I'm the dad out here just trying to correct the record and set everybody straight.